Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of the Smoke Room. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it free on itch.io. And that's pretty much it, I guess, because I don't think they have a Patreon. But I don't know. So, anyways, on the last Let's Play, we decided to talk to Jim, his two compadres, and the brides. I'm not very good with names. It's been a hot minute. Basically being like, hey, Jim, we might need to get out of town. Um, and I guess forget about, your bride or something like that. We burned the photos. We didn't actually burn the photos. And then we talked to the senators like, hey, we need to get out of town. I mean, that's just that I remember. And also, hey, medic guy, we need to get out of town. And we're trying to, like, get allies or something like that. There's this whole thing where they all seem to be like, we are not your enemy, or I'm not your enemy, but multiple of them said that. And also talked to, what's her name? Well, I can't remember. Holly? Holly's one of them. But, yeah, the bride, and she's, like, talking about her dead brother, and how, like, that made her parents, not act well to all of them as kids, and also how she's like, I feel like we kind of missed our boat to get out, so we should probably shelter here. Also, you're in my nest. I don't know. It's kind of hard to, like, put all that stuff into, like, nice sentence or two, you know? But enough about that. We'll set our face. And continue? Yeah. There are people I don't know, who I presume are workers from the school, friends of the family, and service workers. There's also a sister with a stern face who's circled by a concerned group of people. Oh, not like a sister, but like a religious sister. Then there are the nervous father looking over his pocketbook, who don't look too thrilled by the idea of talking to anybody right now. I'm not fond of the idea of traveling with the Catholic clergy considering the natures of me and our companions so far. Okay. It's weird. I kind of think Ayers is somewhat religious. I don't know. Come here to me, Mr. Ayers. I hear her before I see her. Murdoch's grandmama. So you sling yourself between my grandson, my granddaughter, and her hubby-to-be. Want to tell me what's the Crike? Hope nothing naughty, as it does nobody a bit of good to go effin' and blindin' in a church, even if it's just the basement. Blindin'? I don't know what the hell she's saying to me, but I start talking anyway. I think your grandson mentioned once that you think there's something wrong with Echo, yeah? There's something wrong with everywhere. Especially in this country, but it's particularly bad here. Bad how? When people aren't content in your community, there's just no genuine sense of communion. They spend all their time withered, knackered, and acting the maggot just to put their minds off how bad things are. And that's just grand until it isn't, and then all of a sudden everybody else's problems you've been ignoring will become your problems. It's simple enough if you aren't a complete spanner. Sure, look, the trouble is that it's very hard to solve even the easiest challenges when your brain is all banjaxed from being too poor, too hungry, and too tired all the time. It's a hard life out there. Lord knows it didn't have to be. Yeah. Murdoch mentioned she believes in spirits. This might be the last moment I have to talk to her about that. Sorry if it's too personal to ask, but do you believe in evil spirits? Ones that walk this earth, I mean. Of course I do. I call him the Taxman. Of course, she's making fun of me. Don't worry, laddie. I'm just taking the piss. My answer is that if you're a Christian, you do. at least a proper Christian. The good book leaves no ambiguity on who holds dominion over the earth, so who knows what sorts of access the most mangly things in creation have to all aspects of our lives. Wait, doesn't God have dominion over the earth? But if you're not a man who prays, she taps her noggin. There's far older ways than the ones the Christendom that acknowledge the dangers of spirits. There are far older ways than the ones of Christendom. Do any of those ways talk about how to protect yourself? Well, that's easy. You avoid it. You don't go pissing off things greater than yourself in the first place. The trouble is, as far as I can tell, the people here care nary a whit for who they offended and why, and treat offense like it's an invitation to more than a warning to go on making it a competition. What goes on here feels far beyond standard offense. So, how exactly does a man cause offense? She leans a bit closer to me and lowers her voice. So who'd you kill? I've killed so many people in my life. Oh, Lord, you wouldn't realize it. Why would she say something like that? She grins. Just taking the piss again, laddie. Your business is your own. Don't care how many people you killed. Maybe I should try doing voices. But really, there's all sorts of ways to piss off spirits, like pissing. Sometimes you'll find yourself in a place you shouldn't be, and they don't much like that. Others take offense just to be seen. There often doesn't have to be a reason for a spirit to do you harm, or even disrupt your life, for the worst out of sheer playfulness. Mortal babes, or babies, can be proper bastards when they play with the various creatures they find in the garden bed, and some spirits are said to tear the strongest men apart in seconds. She shrugs her shoulders. The idea is much the same. Who knows if a spirit can understand even its own power? Then how can someone protect themselves after a spirit is angry? Granny Roan whistles. There's often mention of iron chains or baubles made from silver, though that didn't offer much succor for the USC cities. So I can say with some certainty your troubles here don't come from offended brownies. What? Or your cantankerous variety of garden piskies. What happened to the cities? When a spirit's very old and very spiteful, sometimes there isn't very much you can do at all. Though sometimes, when a thing is so powerful, the best thing you can do is humble yourself and make yourself small, then just go on about your life. They might just overlook you, or forget you. You don't strike me too much as an arrogant man, Mr. Ayers. That alone could save your life. Sounds to me like you're saying there's nothing we can do when we have bad luck. Sometimes luck is bad. Although, I didn't say you can do nothing. There's one more thing you could try, though it's by far the riskiest. And what's that? Find out if your spirit likes to take piss. If it's playful, it can be fooled. If it has a sense of honor, it might respect you if you fool it. This, of course, only has a chance of working if you have a good sense of guile. Great. So, I am completely fucked. What if I told you that I thought whatever thing or things have been making things hard in Echo might be about to make things a lot worse? I suppose I'd have to say you might be a bit slow on the uptake, laddie. But it's best to start late rather than not at all, I'm sorry to interrupt. No need to be sorry, love. He got me started on the other world, and that's all it took to turn our exchange of couples into an epic poem. I hope it didn't rob you both from riding the next twain. I know you're picky with your conversation partners, Grandma. You're getting too cheeky for your own good. Keep teasing me, and you'll see just where Maeve aims her wrath in the rewrite. Marvelous. What I'm meaning to discuss is that it's been somewhat longer than half an hour. Mother and Father would be back by now if they weren't held up by something. The sister whispers something to the priest. Brothers and sisters, if I could have your attention. It would appear that the conflagration at the Hendricks Manor, rather than receding, is only getting worse. I would advise that you would head for downtown as quickly, but as orderly as possible. You're kicking us out? Those who would like to stay with us for as long as they wish, though I do not advise it, as we're one of the closer buildings to the active hazard. I myself will not be staying due to my poor tolerance to harsh airs, though Sister Frida has volunteered to wait in return of Mr. and Mrs. Briars. The fortunate news is that if you are a visitor here, there's an ample lodgings throughout downtown. A phone call sent from Mr. Testerman's office also announced accommodations at City Hall for those who need it. When was there a phone call? The noise from the crowd starts like a low trickle of water from the faucet, then builds into a roar of a torrent? Neil and Reuben ask why the mayor didn't mention the station. Holly asks why neither her mother nor her father have called yet. I wonder why the trains aren't running. Is it like because of the strike that I think might be happening? An older woman worries about her family's proximity to the smoke. There's a small tug on my sleeve. Cynthia clears her throat and raises her voice. I think that settles it for us. We should go back to the hip for now, Sam. You have rooms there, don't you? Cynthia looks taken aback, suddenly addressed by the dog staying close to us. There's usually always something free, though the cheap rooms are usually taken without a reservation. Money won't be an obstacle. That's what I love to hear. I'll be going then as well, or with them as well. He's looking at me as if this is a declaration, though a quick glance tells me it's more like he's asking permission. I nod just barely. They're being all agreeable like, with the plan. Do you want to come with us, Murdoch? Ralph? I need to know where Grandma will be going first. I'd like to know as well. I hadn't realized Holly had gotten so near to us. It's my responsibility to watch over her. Murdoch's grandmother sighs. Also, has she always had that ring on her finger? She's not married yet. They didn't even start anything. As much as I don't want to come across as cheap, I think it would be foolish not to stay with at my daughter's house when she's downtown anyway. So that's the most likely place my other granddaughter will be. My and Ralph's apartment is close to Sugaru's hip as well, so we should rendezvous at the hotel and sleep at our own place when it gets too late. Shouldn't we just wait a little while longer to see if Mother and Father are coming back? I'm starting to worry. I don't think it would make much of a difference, love, but we can't wait. We can wait just a little longer, if you like. Normally, I think this would be a bad idea to split up in a crisis, but it's apparent that Holly is trying to establish distance between the two of us. I think it would be a bad idea to push back. Please just go out slowly, one at a time, so not as much smoke can get through the doors. Everyone huddles close, squeezing against one another and the wall as we ascend the basement stairs. As requested, we leave one by one. The moment I get outside, my eyes start to sting, and I lift my shirt. It takes a good 5 minutes of walking to get away from it all. Finally. Christ almighty. Just how much shit does that guy have that'd make that much smoke? If I had to guess, it's mostly just the interior structure that's making up most of it. Even small buildings give off a lot of smoke. Don't any of you remember the press? I do. I was coughing for weeks. I want to hug Cynthia. She's like cute, but also, yeah. Just multiply that by about 30 if they don't put out the fire. Why aren't they anyway? Don't they have a system in place for this? You think so? The mansion's on a hill, so they might have problems with the water. They had better not, considering all the plumbing tests they made me do. He speaks. What do you mean by that? I mean, they had me conduct more soil tests than I'd like on the bedrock of that hill, just to see where we could install pipes without breaking the foundation. They definitely have running water at the top of the hill. So why didn't they put out the fire before it got that bad? Makes one think, doesn't it? I mostly think insurance fraud. How about anyone else? For his sake, his burns better be authentic. You're so funny, Neil. Nothing about this is remotely funny. The rocks beneath our feet crunch as we walk for a while without any of us speaking. Well, we change walking directions just a bit as the trio of tumbleweeds passes by. If he botched insurance fraud, that at least would be funny. Wind whistles past my ears. I think I hear a train whistle. It's enough to make me look at the tracks at least. That's not good sound. Even from a distance, it's impossible not to see the crimson stains against the white pebbles. Hey, y'all? I point. What's that stain over there? Jim's lip curls in disgust, while Ralph crouches to his knees, squinting to get a better look at it. There's another one a few feet from it. Another one in the opposite direction. That's fresh blood. A lot of fresh blood. They're both right. It's unmistakable. Maybe that's why the trains aren't running right now. Did an animal get run over? 3 animals. Right. Those are splatters from clean cuts. Right. The cat's the doctor. Too far apart to be dragged by a vehicle. Bolting. Barely. I see blood every day at work. Hard to avoid gore when you hunt. I suppose that explains why Jim always skipped the Brookhaven hunts. It's a bore. If you're adverse to the chase, perhaps. No matter. We can partake in something of a more delicate nature when we reach the hotel. Shall we go? We let them walk a bit ahead of us. Whoa. Yeah. Our friends, right? Yeah. Are you sure? Yeah. People who have money for a long time will spend a lot of time with other people who have had money for a long time. Even if every aspect of their personalities suggests they shouldn't stand one another. I doubt they're used to creature discomforts. I've seen that. They're probably discovering things about each other they never knew under the stress. This isn't unique to the rich, but when you're born to receive almost everything you wanted, I imagine the opportunities to learn through struggles are rarer. Nobody asks you to make excuse for them. I'm not excusing them. I just find it ironic that people crave comfort, but that it predisposes you to be the worst at some things. I'm just thinking out loud. It's hard for me to stop thinking about those stains in the road. It's not ordinary behavior for 3 vermin just to sit and wait to get sliced open by a train, but nobody else seems curious enough to want to talk about it out loud. We keep on following the roads and the tracks until we come along the first row of townhouses, just taking the time. There's a small crowd of people at the crossroads where one might turn towards the mine and the Hendricks Manor. I presume they're the officers at first, considering they have uniforms and they're standing on opposite side of wooden straw horses. What did I say? With the words blockade printed on wood. But the uniforms are beige and their caps are rimmed. What's the National Guard doing here? Clearly, not enough if the fire's still cooking. Excuse me, sir. The white cat strides up to the nearest man in uniform he could find. Could you please inform us on the nature of everything going on right now? It was like hell in a handbasket. The bull, with a severe look in his eye, adjusts the position of his gun on his back. There's been some trouble up at the mines. What kind of trouble? I work there. Twas a riot, I'm afraid. He gives Jim a slow look over. You look a bit overdressed for someone who works for the CSGC. CG. It's my wedding day. Very sorry to hear that. Mind if I ask you what kind of work you do? Fuck's sake, I'm a scientist. Educated, huh? That puts some ease on the officer's tone. We have good reason to believe that the insurrection was caused by property damage on the top of the hill. When he says that, I can't help but think that I haven't heard from Nick in weeks. He was a quiet client, but always reliable, always kind. I can't help but hope that he's alright. He isn't. Our best men are on the top of the hill putting out the flames, so never you worry. Forget the damn fire. We just want to get on the next train out of here. While this is happening, something unbelievable occurs. The frames of two small figures in dresses slip out from behind a hopseed bush. They walk past not one of two rows of soldiers with guns, slipping underneath the first set of blockades with hardly any effort. They look damp and covered in mud and dust. At first I don't recognize. The second I do, or the first I don't recognize. As long as there's civil unrest and considerable property damage and muck, we don't think it's a good idea for people to be coming and going if they're responsible for the damage. I'm still watching the girls as they pass through the second row of blockades. One stumbles a bit on her steps, then holds her stomach with one paw. The one in the dark fur shakes a floppy cactus leaf in one of her hands and waves a switchblade in the other, but the other girl emphatically shakes her head. Is no one paying attention, or are these like spirits? And that was a typo there. The dark-furred cat rolls her eyes, holding the cactus leaf in her mouth, while she closes the blade. And who makes the call? That'd be my superior officer, sir, in joint agreement with her mayor on the matter. He's not my damn mayor. Yeah, I know the feeling with, people in power. I live in Texas, and also the United States. We don't even live here. Me, Murdoch, Ralph and Cynthia, and Jim all watch the two girls go through the third row of blockades unnoticed. Once again, not drawing any attention. If anyone ribbon see it, they don't bother to mention it. They're really far more worked up over the trains than anything else. Hey, what are those two over there doing? Who? The girls are almost a block away, not stopping once to look back before it turned down an alleyway. Those two girls. They came out of nowhere. I didn't see two girls. Only the ones on this side of the fence. Only the ones on this side of the fence. Not our problem, then. Any of you see those youngins, you tell them not to go messing around here again. You hear me? That's none of our concern. Why don't you direct me to your superior officer? Sir, I'm sure you could talk with him all night until your nose turned blue, but until this site is secure, I can tell you what standard protocol will be. Standard protocol doesn't wait for life. I'm a very important surgeon with a schedule to keep, and I'm not stretching the truth when I say that lives will be at risk if you don't put me back on the train before the night's up. Jim is wincing from secondhand embarrassment, and Murdoch is looking away completely. Ralph looks like he should be eating popcorn. Cynthia isn't even here anymore. I see the trail from her skirt, and her tawny tail disappears as she turns the corner. Excuse me for just a moment. I keep a quick pace, just in case the possibility that I'll lose track of her, but I see her back pretty quickly when I make the turn. It's those two. Oh, it's always a pain when it's like, how much longer can some of these things be? Oh, was it something else? No. Well, yeah, maybe. I don't know. But it's kind of hard because it's like, well, we got 3 and something minutes. So who knows? So please comment, cause I like comments, say what you like, dislike, tips, tricks, otherwise. If you like my YouTube and like to grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out their epic grow leader. Control the pet population. And if you want to play this game, it's available free on itch.io. Don't think there's any thingamajiggers for the stuff. You know? Anyways, until next time, and let's play me, GamerWolfSix of the Smoke Room, or how much there is to it. God, I'm sorry for going on this diatribe that I'm going to be going on. It's just, Sileo's a good game. It has the best UI I've ever seen in visual novels. It is so... Oop, I lost tracking. It is so nice to play a visual novel, because I did a whole bunch of those things, and then I did one a day, just try and get to the end. One where I can do an episode, and unless it's certain specific episodes, the scene changes, and it's not like, oh hey, we're going to start talking, and then we're going to talk about something completely irrelevant, or we're going to talk about, going to do like flashbacks and stuff like that. Just like, oh my God, stuff happens. Anyways, until next time, we'll say, like, I'm sorry, Silo Maker, people that really like that game. It's so long. Thanks and see ya.